Hello friends, it's Terry with Terry's Mailbox, and I'm excited to be hopping along with my fellow Altenew educators on this video hop where the theme is colorful carnations. So I decided to use the Altenew Color It Up digital pages that are available on their website for my card today. I ended up printing out 2 of them using my printer on Cougar cardstock. And again, I printed 2 because I'm going to color that one in the bottom corner there and pop it up. So the first set I'm using is the Beach Garden set. And again, this is how I swatch my alcohol inks, and I just kind of do this and then keep it within the boxes of the pens so I can kind of see what I'm working with. So I'm going to focus on the oranges and yellows and the grays for this particular card. So again, here's the Beach Garden set. So we'll go ahead and start coloring here. So I'm also going to add in the Space Garden set because I needed more yellows. I kind of started with the orange flower and then kind of realized it was a little bit dark and maybe I wanted a little more contrast. So that's when I pulled the Space Garden set out. So we'll go ahead and just, fill in. And again, I always kind of start using a darker color and doing the lines or the highlights and then going back and adding the lighter color over and kind of blending it together. And then I go back with that darker color and kind of add the shadows. So again, just kind of coloring along here. So now we'll start working on that orange one here at the top. And again, you can see here I am just kind of drawing in the lines where the shadows would be and then pulling the lighter color and going back over the entire thing. They blend very, very well, actually. So again, I kind of turn my page around and you can see here I'm working on the entire 8.5 by 11, and then I'll trim it when I get finished. So here I am cutting out that little singular one. So I've already colored all of the grays and all of the flowers and everything. So right now I'm just going to fussy cut that additional carnation. This is the one that I want to pop up on the front of the card. So again, I'm just using my Altenew scissors. These things work really well, and I'm just, again, fussy cutting, just going around the perimeter of the flower. So I like using dies, but again, this one does not have a die with it since it's a digital image. So again, I'm just gonna keep cutting here and working along here. So again, the oranges, yellow, and grays are kind of a different color combination for me. I am absolutely a cool color girl, but I decided to really stretch myself on this one and kind of choose some different color families. So again, that's why I went with the gray and the yellow and the orange. I thought it looked really nice together. So I've got it fussy cut out. So then the next thing I did is I grabbed the darkest gray from that first set, from the Beach Garden set, and I'm running it along the perimeter here. Again, when you fussy cut, you end up with the white edges, and I didn't want those to show at all. So again, I'm just using the pen to run it around the perimeter and just kind of cover up those white images, or the white edges, I should say. So I've got that all done, and then I'm going to pop it up there on that base image is kind of what my plan is. And I'm going to use the nesting slim labels to cut out a section that I will then pop up to make it the focal section of the card. So again, I'm kind of playing with, what size of the labels do I want to use. I obviously didn't want it to cut out the entire thing, and it needed to be smaller than an A2 card. So again, I've selected my size here, and now I'm just kind of lining them up, trying to decide I want to capture, a few of the blooms here. And then I'm also keeping in mind that flower at the lower right is going to be popped up. So what I've done now is I've got my sticky mat from my stamp wheel, my Altenew stamp wheel, and I pull it out often when I'm just ink blending. So I'm looking for either a gray blending tool or a clean one. So I found a clean one. So we'll go ahead, and I'm using the Silverstone ink in my mini ink blender here, and I'm also using, that's the grid stencil. I use this one quite a bit. I kind of like it. So again, what I'm doing is just, I'm not really coloring over the flowers. I'm kind of hitting the areas in between the blooms and the leaves. So you can kind of see it's just a light background there, but it kind of gives it some interest. So now I'll pull that nesting slim label die and kind of get it lined up. And I will admit, in the end, I actually hit it pretty close to the I believe in you, the I. So you'll see what I do with that in a minute. So again, I've got this extra label here that I'm popping up that center piece just a little bit, not much. But again, I want to line it up, and then that's going to go right there in the center. And I trimmed that panel by a 1/4 inch on each side so that I could put it on a gray cardstock to kind of pop up and just bring attention to the gray, gray stems and leaves. So again, we'll go ahead and get that all attached there. I used my handy dandy Altenew tape runner. And you can see here that I've got printing on the back. Well, I tend to reuse my cardstock. If I make an error on one, I flip it over and start again. So again, here I've got it lined up, and I'm kind of pointing out that you really can't see the I from the I believe in you. So I had to trim a little 1/4 inch piece, and then we'll go ahead and pop that up on a couple of additional pieces of cardstock so that it does pop up a little bit. So I'm just, again, using the scissors to trim these out. You should see an arrow at the lower right-hand section of your screen. I'd love it if you would become one of my subby friends on my YouTube channel. So again, here I'm just adding that little piece on there. So the last thing I need to do is I need to pop up that last orange bloom. So I really wanted it to pop up a little bit more. I'm using Altenew foam tape. I love this stuff. It is just, it's the right size. It's so easy to work with. You can see here I'm trimming down into smaller pieces because I've obviously got to pop up the stem and the leaves there. So I'm kind of, playing with trimming it down, making skinny little strips. But again, this foam tape is just wonderful. Just wonderful. One of my favorites. So again, we'll go ahead and pull the backing off here in just a minute as soon as I get that leaf covered. You got to take your time with these when you're trimming the little tiny pieces. And then I had to, trim some of the extra that was popping out. You can't have that, can ya? So again, once I get that all together, we'll go ahead and pull the backing paper off of there. And then I'm going to attach it on top of the nesting label and the base flower. So I decided to add a little bit of glue there just to make sure that it adhered well. I had some of the pieces were very skinny, but again, I added a little white glue just to make sure it stuck on there properly. So again, there's my card. It's Terry with Terry's Mailbox. And again, I'm on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Blogger. I'd love it if you would subscribe.